Everyone. I hope your new year is going great, and I'd like to welcome you to Ms. Cheryl's Place. I'm coming today to do a video that I saw um, it's not a tag video, it's not a collab video, it's just a video that was posted by a YouTuber by the name of Creative Culinary. And she did not do a literal tag where everybody was tagged in the video where you could just pull out names. It was just basically a sent out video. And she pretty much had it called a get to know me video. And I'm going to participate in the get to know me video by answering a few of the questions that she has, looking down at the questions now. So, one of the questions that she starts with is, are you named after anyone? No, I'm not. From my understanding, my mom was reading a story, a book or something, and she was going to name me Brenda Denise because she liked the name Denise. And for some reason, she ended up reading this book, and because her name was Brenda, was her middle name, and she was going to name me that. And then she so happened to be reading a book and seeing the name Cheryl, which is pronounced Cheryl, but she pronounced it Cheryl because she's from the South. And so that's basically where I got my name from. Where are you from is the next question. Well, I'm actually originally from Mount Vernon, New York. I grew up in Mount Vernon, and I'm currently living in North Carolina. We're considered to be money earning Mount Vernon. Debbie Allen and Felicia Rashad and Denzel Washington, Malcolm X, Heavy D and the Boys, Albie Shore, all are from, Jeff Red. It's so many people. The list goes on and on, are from Mount Vernon, New York. And I so happen to be one of those people too. Which of your parents are you most like? I would have to say that I'm like both of my parents because I have the side of me that is very honest, and that would be my mom. She was direct and very blunt. And then I'm the other side of, which is my dad, who was a no nonsense type person. He was the best friend that you could ever have in the world until you crossed him. So that's pretty much the way that I am. I'm like both of my parents. What is your favorite food? Well, if I had to say food wise, my favorite food would be seafood. But my favorite meal would be turkey, stuffing, macaroni and cheese, yams. That's my favorite meal. My favorite food, however, is seafood. Then in the next order would be pizza, but it has to be from New York type pizza. Like we have a couple of restaurants out here. One of them is Brooklyn Pizza, and then the other one is Elizabeth's Pizza, and it puts me to the mind. And there's another one, Vito's. Those three put me into the mind of New York pizza, of which I grew up on. What is your favorite pastime? My favorite pastime, I would have to honestly say is, well, it's two things. One would be crafting, making things, creating things with my hands, such as wreaths and baskets, and those are the things that I like to do. But my favorite pastime would be spending time with my family. We're a big family, and I love spending time with my family. Um, what is your favorite childhood memory? My favorite childhood memory would be any time spent with my dad. My father was a hard worker. He owned a cleaning business, and he worked for Sears and Roebuck, and he also worked at Pepsi Cola. And he worked a lot. And being that he did that, the most time that he would be with us would be Thanksgiving, mostly your holidays. He would have those off on all jobs, but Christmas mainly because he would be off that job the longest. Um, and he would, that would be my favorite time would be that I can remember would be any time that I spent with my dad and my mom, mostly with my dad being home because my mom was home most of the time. My favorite snack would have to be, I really can't. I want to say any kind of. Ooh, that's a good question. You got me on that one. I really. Um, I would have to say my favorite snack would be chips. Well, actually, my favorite snack would actually be grapefruit. Any kind of I love grapefruit. So, pears, weirdly, pears, and then, chips, cookies, secondary. But mainly it would have to be something like citrus fruit, like, grapefruit, pink grapefruit, white grapefruit, oranges, those kind of things. What is your favorite team? Well, basketball, it would be Lakers. It would be the Lakers. I don't care what they've done. And I actually could say it would be more like the 80s Lakers versus the Millennium Lakers. Because I loved Magic Johnson. I loved AC Green. I loved those guys. Those are the guys that I loved back in the day. Kareem Abdul. Those are my Laker people. I love the Lakers, and I still love the Lakers now. I don't care what they're doing. If they never make it back to the NBA playoffs, I mean, they still are my team. I prefer dogs because the question is, do you prefer dogs or cats? Absolutely cannot. I don't like cats. They're God's creatures, but I absolutely cannot. I don't like cats at all. Um, so dogs. I feel like dogs are more loyal. And that's always pretty much all I've ever had growing up is dogs. I have two Chihuahuas now, and but that's about it. I just love dogs. Am I afraid of heights? Only at points and intervals. Like for instance, my husband's company Christmas party was in Alabama, so we had to fly to get there. We could have drove, but we flew because the company paid for us to fly, and so that would be like a deal breaker. You really don't have control of being up that high. Once I got in the air and the plane leveled out, I was fine. If as far as me standing in a real tall building and looking down, I'm terrified. Like the hotel we stayed at, the Embassy Suites, we were on the ninth floor, and being on no, yeah, we was on the ninth floor, and it looking down, it's terrifying. It really was. But yeah, I mean, I think if I can maintain control, I'm not as terrified as heights as I could be. So looking, that would be the answer to that. The first book I read, I cannot remember. I'm 50, so I don't remember. I would want to say that my childhood favorite books would be Curious George, Winnie the Pooh, classic Winnie the Pooh. I love classic Winnie the Pooh. So that was probably one of my books that I read first, was either Winnie the Pooh or Curious George. In middle age, maybe about, 9, 10, I probably started reading Amelia Bedelia. And I also read books like Dear God, It's Me, Margaret. Are You There, God? Those books. As I've gotten older, I gravitate more towards self-help books and, books of, I'm not the type of person, I like, maybe I want to say younger, 12 years old too. I read a lot of Encyclopedia Brown's mystery. I love Nancy Drew mystery, stuff like that. Um, but as I've gotten grown and older, I began to read more books that were spiritually based. More that was helpful to me. This a list of books. I've read the series of different preachers, T.D. Jakes, Juanita Bottoms. I've read so many others that it's a lot. It's a lot of books. Um, okay, the genre. What is your favorite genre of music? My favorite genre of music would have to be, and it's not really no real specific one to put in order, because I would have to say gospel, and then I would have to say old school R&B, um, old school rap. So it's a spectrum. I'm not really into the country music, hard rock, and none of that. I'm more into R&B classic music. Back in the day, Spinners, OJ's, Isley Brothers. The list can go on. Otis Redding, definitely Otis Redding, will play in my house forever. That was my father's favorite singer, and we just are obsessed with Otis. And so yeah, I would have to say classic R&B music, and definitely old school R&B. Then I would have to say old school rap. I like some of the new rap. I like some of the R&B that's currently playing. So yeah, different genres. Favorite subject in school would have had to been English, and also African American history, because we did have that in my area of going to school, where I had African American studies and I also had English. Those are my favorites. Do I have tattoos? Yes, I do. I have two exactly. I have one that has 7 daughters, and the other one says 3 sons, because I have 10 children. So, yeah, definitely that. What is your best physical feature? I want to say my thighs, because they're cute. I think they're cute. They fit me perfectly. They're not too big, they're not too small, they're just right. My husband would say something else, but the question is towards me. So, mine is my thighs. Um, what is your biggest accomplishment? My biggest accomplishment would have to be, and that's the last question. I would have to say my biggest accomplishment is being a good wife, a good mother. My greatest accomplishment is how my family turned out, how my husband is able to get up and go to work and not have to worry about what he's going to wear, how his clothes are going to be done, so on and so forth. I want to say my biggest accomplishment is being a wife and a mother. Also, I want to say going back to school and finishing school is another accomplishment. I'm going to say also that um, being just who I am is a great accomplishment, because I feel like I'm doing what it is that I'm supposed to do. I feel like I have purpose, and this is what my purpose is, the things that I'm doing. So I want to say my accomplishments are all of the above: family, life, scholastics, being a great grandma, being a great mom. Those are the things that I'm most proud of, and being a good wife. I feel like I'm a great wife. I think, and my husband will agree, I think those are the best accomplishments that anybody can have. If you can walk away and be in a crowd and your family honors and bless you, and they acknowledge what it is that you've done for them, then that is a great accomplishment. I feel like I was a great daughter to my parents, who are both now deceased. I feel like I was a great sister, to my brothers, and to my sister. I feel like I'm a great aunt to my nieces and my nephews. Great aunt to my great nephews and great nieces. Um, yeah, I just feel like those are the things that I've accomplished. Those are the things that I feel most proud about. So, glad that you tuned in. Like, share, and subscribe. Also, you're always welcome at Miss Cheryl's place. Come on in, sit down, and relax for a while. Have a great day and be blessed.